Was Ceausescu's execution justified? Was the execution of Nicolae Ceaușescu justified? This question stirs strong emotions and opinions, especially in the context of Southeast European history and the fall of communism. To understand this, we need to look at the facts surrounding Ceausescu's rule and the events leading to his execution. Nicolae Ceaușescu was the leader of Romania for over 20 years. His regime was marked by strict control over the economy and severe restrictions on personal freedoms. The secret police played a significant role in suppressing any dissent. By the late 1980s, many Romanians faced dire living conditions. Food, fuel, and basic necessities were in short supply. The government's efforts to pay off foreign debt led to harsh austerity measures, causing widespread suffering. In December 1989, protests began in Timișoara, quickly spreading across the nation. Ceausescu and his wife, Elena, tried to quell the uprising with violence. However, the military sided with the protesters. Soon after, the couple fled Bucharest but was captured just days later. They faced a hastily organized military tribunal in Targovist, charged with serious crimes such as genocide and mass murder. The trial was brief, and the outcome was predetermined. They were found guilty and executed by firing squad on December 25, 1989. From a factual standpoint, the trial did not follow standard legal procedures. It was a military tribunal set up by new revolutionary authorities. Ceausescu rejected its legitimacy, claiming it lacked constitutional basis. The charges were severe, with state television stating he was responsible for the deaths of tens of thousands. However, the exact numbers and timeframes were not clearly defined. In Southeast Europe, many view the execution as a dramatic end to one of the most oppressive regimes in the region. For many Romanians and people in neighboring countries, it was seen as a necessary act to prevent further violence and to mark a clear break from the past. The quick execution helped avoid a prolonged struggle for power and contributed to the rapid collapse of Ceausescu's regime. However, the lack of a fair trial and the speed of the execution have drawn criticism. Some argue it set a troubling precedent for justice in post-communist transitions, where the desire for retribution sometimes overshadowed the rule of law. Others point out that the execution reflected the extreme anger and frustration of a population that had suffered for years. In practical terms, the execution marked the end of a brutal dictatorship and paved the way for political change in Romania. It sent a strong message across Southeast Europe about the consequences of authoritarian rule and the power of popular uprisings. In summary, while the execution was not legally orthodox, it was widely supported by a population that had endured years of repression. The event is remembered as a defining moment in the region's transition away from communism. The question of justification remains debated, but the execution is generally seen as a response to the extraordinary circumstances of the time.